nugget of the day. I'm probably annoying all of you already, but I don't really care, guys. My work schedule is shifted for the last couple days, yesterday included. So I'm uploading as much as possible because I don't know if I'm gonna see you tomorrow, baby. I don't know. So let's get right into it. I need to go shower. I put oil in my hair, so it's very greasy. Very greasy. Let's just cover it up so it doesn't distract you from this sugaring theory. This is a theory that causes a lot of hate from my viewers, from anybody who is against us talking about this topic. But guys, this is 2024. This theory has to be considered. Why? Because sugaring, sugar babies, OnlyFans, people, young women specifically being escorts is the norm of today. All you have to do is step outside if you are a young, beautiful girl, especially in college, and find probably a male often who is willing to pay for your services. Right now, before we get into details, and I'm going to be talking very fast because my husband's about to come home and he hates when I'm making videos and he comes home. He's like, can we just have some me and you time, babe? So I'm going to be talking really fast, guys. I pulled this article from Business Insider, and it's a guy who's been a sugar daddy for over 10 years. I'll try to attach it to the description. That way you guys can look it up, read it yourselves. Hi, guys. 4 people in the chat already. That's amazing. That was fast. And this guy is talking about what it's like to be a sugar daddy, what it's like to have these sugar babies. He's saying that sugaring is amazing because it's like having a girlfriend, but he never has to worry about getting married, or never has to worry about these females getting emotionally attached. And he remains in the honeymoon phase. Hi, Wolf Angel in the chat. So that's great, right? We are not here to judge these victims, but we are here to theorize. So if somebody tries to shut you down just because you're asking questions, you should be concerned. Every time that we are asking questions, any potential theories revolving the victims or the family members, that is SOP, guys. That's standard operating procedure. That means that you're a good detective. That means that you're actually digging deep to find any potential connections that the victims may have had with people who have potentially been shady, right? Or who may have motive. Ooh, I see the chat, guys. Joe White from Australia. Awesome. The other side of the world. So cool. Now, this person goes on to talk about how they have gone on vacations with women, and of course in exchange for money, right? And he says, I've had women ask for money up front or for a large allowance, but there are also nice girls on sugar baby dating sites who are just looking for some help with their bills. There are a lot of scammers too, as of course one would find with any of these interactions, right? He also says, as a sugar daddy, you're in the honeymoon stage most of the time. You get treated well, you get romantic evenings, and you're seen as the savior of these women. So it sounds like it attracts a type of guy, right? He says, there are nice girls on these dating sites who are just looking for help with their bills, but there's these scammers. And interestingly, he does mention that student loans are a problem. Student loans are a problem for many younger sugar babies. Though, and there's no doubt, many come to the site for cash to make their monthly payment. I've met 2 active college girls over the years, one who went to Berkeley and the other one who went to UC Davis. Like all the other sugar babies I've interacted with, I gave them a per visit donation of $200 to $300, plus dinner, gifts, outings. But I know that the very good-looking college girls ask for twice as much, sometimes $600, plus dinner, gifts, and outings. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. But Nika, oh my God, you are so tone deaf. How could he be talking about this when these people are suffering? Again, guys, I'm open, and I want people to question everything. It doesn't matter if people are questioning if these girls were OnlyFans models, if they were escorts, if they were cam girls, if they were sugar babies, right? Because even though I have yet to find any evidence about them being involved in anything, we don't know. All of it will, if not parts of it, will come out at trial. And for people saying, and what does that have to do with the fact that 4 of them got killed? Like, why are you bringing that up, Nika? Why? Well, again, like I mentioned, in murder cases, everything, every single aspect of the victims, of the family members of the victims, of close acquaintances, of friends, of colleagues, okay, every single aspect of their life should be scrutinized, okay? It would be horrible detective work if this was not scrutinized. So that's why we're asking the questions. And yes, of course, some people have said that no, they were hard-working college kids. But if what Steve Gonsalves allegedly said about Kaylee Gonsalves having $100,000 in the bank is actually factually true, I personally want to know where they got that money. Was it a trust fund? Was it passed down? How did they get this money? And for people saying, well, she did pay for this Range Rover, I believe the price of the Range Rover was about $45K, so nothing it's expensive. It's expensive, but nothing like, wasn't like 80 grand, right? Nonetheless, a lot of people have said that this is a lot of money, but I cannot stop thinking about the reason that some people, a lot of people think that this rumor could be true was because in the very early days, Mr. Steve Gonsalves, in one of his very first interviews, said that there was going to be a lot of personal information brought up, and a lot of this personal information was going to be embarrassing. Now, I believe that is when the sugar daddy rumors started. And again, the new car wasn't cheap. And I was not a broke student. No, I was broke. I did not have a vehicle, actually. I walked everywhere. But most students, I don't know. I'm not gonna delve too deep in that. You guys let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat. Do you think that 45K for a Range Rover is an average price for a typical student to afford? And I know that you can get money, you know, you can get it on a lease, for example. But sugaring is very common. And as we have this sugar daddy in this interview on Business Insider saying it's extremely common in college. Girls, a lot of college girls gravitate to this because it's a form of easy money. And a lot of the sugar babies that have been interviewed as well often say that they don't have to exchange their bodies for money sometimes. Sometimes it's just like a very strange man who has a difficult time communicating with women. So he just like wants them to listen. If you think that's awkward, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. The point is that this happens very, very often. The problem is that if any of these victims were meeting with potential sugar daddies, and again, this is a theory, this is all speculation, this is no, it's not meant to be seen as a flaw of the victims, because we don't know. They probably didn't even do this. We don't know. But if they did, on the 1% chance that they were sugar babies or cam girls, or they were meeting up with men, even if it was just to talk, that is a very risky situation, guys. Being a female is a risky situation. If you look at statistics, being a female, you don't even have to be an attractive female. Being a female raises your chances of basically everything dangerous, right? Now, on top of that, if you're an attractive female and you're college aged and you are potentially meeting with strange men who, it's not like these sugar babies are running background checks on these guys. They're literally meeting these random men, sometimes in public, sometimes in private. Sometimes it's in public and then it goes to private, you know, if the sugar baby feels more comfortable. And putting yourself in that situation as a female is the riskiest thing that you can do. You're literally meeting a man you've never met before. You have no idea of what they do for a living, of their background. God, the thought of a young woman being a sugar baby just gives me the creeps. And that didn't exist when I was in college. Maybe it did, and I just was unaware of it. But with the internet, with social media sites, with these sugar daddy, sugar baby websites, this has become very, very common. So it's imperative that if you have a daughter or a son, actually, you to teach them, they have to be very cautious, because any of this information could hurt them, right? If they're like, oh, the internet told me that I can make $600 by meeting a stranger, and then you like never return home. I'm not saying that was the case in the IDAHO4, but this could lead to motive. If there was a weird guy who was stalking them, or that they met out in one of their sugar daddy, sugar baby outings, if that ever happened, that could be dangerous. But it also could be dangerous. Why? Because we know that Kaylee Gonsalves had just technically dumped a guy, right? And I'm going to put myself in the shoes of a young man who is really, I don't want to be mean, but he's below average attractiveness. I think, right? Kaylee's ex-boyfriend. And I don't know about you, but Kaylee was beautiful. Jack, not as beautiful, I would say. So that often can take a toll on somebody's self-esteem when they're not dating across, right? Across average looks, as social scientists have told us, that most people usually date across or up. And speculation, but just imagine if Jack, Kaylee's ex-boyfriend, had learned, you know what? I just found out that maybe one of these girls, maybe Kaylee, is a sugar baby, and she's meeting all these dudes, and I can't afford her. Can't afford to buy her vehicles. I can't afford to get her gifts or vacations. How do you think that would make him feel? Let me know in the chat, because I think that that would have hurt his feelings. In fact, that is the number one cause of women being attacked by men, guys. It's when they find out that a female is cheating, or that they feel that a female is cheating, even if they weren't together anymore. Okay? That's not something I'm saying. That is a fact. So that would also be a good reason for a lot of men out there. I don't think it's a good reason, but for a lot of men out there, apparently, they think it's fine to unalive their significant other when they find out that somebody else took their spot. I'm not a fan of covering this theory, but it must be done because it's something we have to do and get over with. And I'm open-minded. I think we should question everything, even if it bothers people, even if it appears to be tone deaf, because that's good detective work. So that's it for the day, for real now, because I really actually have to go do stuff now. You guys have a wonderful evening. Thanks for watching all of the 5 videos I uploaded today. And you're already in here. Look, you're in here siphoning off my energy. I'm just kidding. But you're literally in here, right? You're consuming my content that I put out for free for you. The least you could do is give me a thumbs up. The least you could do. The least you could do for all these crazy theories I'm putting out into the stratosphere. So you guys have a wonderful night. Take care. Leave a comment, leave a like, leave an emoji. And if you're one of those sensitive people that are like, how could you, Nika? How could you talk about that? That is horrible. These people are gone. Again, we're covering these topics because they must be covered. Because at the end of the day, all that matters is exposing the truth, getting justice for the victims in particular. They are the number one people that have to get justice. And even if that means exposing some dirty little secrets that a lot of college girls partake in, that's okay. We're not going to blame them and say that it's their fault. I'm not going to do that. Whoever committed this horrible atrocity still needs to pay for it. And as time passes, it appears that Brian Koberger may not be the guy. So we definitely want justice for these 4 victims, and that includes finding the real perpetrator. So have a good evening, guys. I must go now. Take care. Bye-bye. Do you like my hat? Just twist the B with the I, fib, because they be fibbing to us. Bye, guys.